Hello and welcome back guys.
You nerds, check out part 1 before.
In today's video I will teach you about overloading with TypeScript. So first of all you will make a simple function and then you will add overloads like this. What? First of all the keyword function, then the name, and then the list of parameters, and then this colon to show the return type. Well, of course it is void, then you can just do void and stuff, and then at last terminate. So what is the need of this thing? Well, for example, in TypeScript the types are important. Like if we have something like m and it is equals to 18 multiplied by a variable. For example, that variable is time in milliseconds. So we will use our converter and convert our time, and bam, we'll get. And it had like this kind of return type and none of these overloads, then you can see we will get this error. We cannot multiply 18 to a string. So that's why we do overloading, and overloading is amazing. Now let me show you a few more examples with overloading so that you can understand a bit more. So this was overloading for functions. Like what if you want to do overloading for your interfaces? Well, it is quite important. I mean, like as you can see in our commands in Discord.js. Well, I'm just taking that example, but it will work everywhere. So what I have this error function. So error functions, error are of different kinds. Like what if the exception error occur, or the guild only, or the DM only, and stuff. So every error have different stuff. Like we get command in both, I mean in all of them, and we get interaction in all of them as well. But in exception we get this error object, and whereas in this timeout thingy we get this time remaining thingy. Alright, so these are the two different things. And now let me show you how it works. Like what if I define as something help is and command, and then we have our error thingy. So here we can just do our event and then the command and then the interaction and then the extra thingy, and bam, done. So you can see our error thing is done. Now we need a run function and run, and we have our stuff, and we will just do our stuff, easy stuff. Alright, that's all we have to do, to be honest. As you can see, we can check the type of event we are getting, like if we are getting DM only thing, exception, guild only, and stuff like that. And it is really helpful for your stuff, and that's how you implement the thing in interfaces. And now I will just show you how to implement the overloading thing in classes as well. And don't worry, I will show you a practical thing as well so that you can understand it in a more better way. So you must have seen event emitters. I mean, like you must have seen stuff like handler, like for example, if you have something like a client and you just do new handler, and then you can do things like .on event for message create and stuff like that. And you know what? That's how you do all of that thing. Like you define functions like this. For example, if I define an on function, it is like this. We get the event name, then the listener, and then we just run this function. And I'm using this on function of this event emitter class provided by Node by default. So how I set up all of these? I just created different functions with this event name value to some event. Like for here it is normal command, slash command, exception and stuff. And then the second parameter is in listener, and that's all. And this second parameter have quite a lot of damn parameters. We can just ignore that. But the main thing is that's how we do it. And we can, let me just show you that I can pass different kind of these thingies, different kind of event names. If I provide command created, then in the second parameter I get different parameters like this command and command aliases. Whereas if I provide guild only, then in this second parameter I get command object and the interaction object. So you know, this thing is really handy for doing this on event thingy. And when I was using JavaScript, I really needed this thing, but I didn't know about that. And now comes the practical time. So we have to make a function to perform these actions. If single parameter was provided, then square it. If 2, then give their sum. If 0, then just return a random string. So how we are supposed to do that? Well, first of all, let's just for now, let's make an array of string with lot of random stuff. Alright. So it doesn't really matter, to be honest. We can do it in a better way, but for now it is fine. And now comes our function. So first of all, let's name it guys, naming is really hard, but let's name it xd for now. So we will make our stuff, and first of all we will have a, it will be an optional property of course, and it will be a number. And then we have b, it is an optional property as well, and it is a number as well. And the return type will be any for now. And let's just do our thing. So first of all, we have to do stuff like if a exists and b exists, then we are gonna return a plus b. Else if A exists and B do not exist, then we are gonna return A multiplied by A. Otherwise, we are gonna return S bracket math.floor math.random multiplied by s.length. So we are just returning a random string for this from this array. Now comes another thing, like if I just do xd and run this function, I can get literally anything. Like you can see, we are getting literally anything. But like for example, if I provide them a, sorry, if I provide them 4, in return I will get 16, right? But I don't know. I mean, like TypeScript do not know that. So if I do let u is equals to 6 multiplied by this, 6 multiplied by this, we are getting, and by the way, let's just do this n equals to number or string for now. So you can see we're getting this error right now. Oh, by the way, it is a return here as well, my bad. So you can see we're getting this error because the operation type must be of any or number or big int type, but it isn't. It is possibly a string or a number. Here comes the overloading thing. So we can literally do function xd, and first of all, if a is a number, and that's it, then the return type will be number. And otherwise, if a is a number and b is a number as well, then the return type will be number. And of course, another one, if no parameter provided, then the return type is string. Simple as hell. And you can see now it is not providing any error because it is telling the return type is number. And if I provide nothing, now we will get an error because the return type is string now. And just for proof, you can see we have 3 overloads. If none, then string. If single, then number. If double, then number as well. So that's how you do overloading. And trust me guys, overloading is really amazing. But there is one catch: you can make any number of these signature of functions, but the function body will be just one, a single body. And that's how we do it. And if you were unable to understand something, please tell me, I will help you. And by the way, soon a video on event handler. And till then, bye.